Hey team, how we doing? A video here about, I was just typing in response to Claire and Lisa's messages saying how easy I make it look on stories and stuff, and I smiled to myself and I started typing a response, and then it's such a big subject that I thought let's not type a response, let's just talk. And then you'll pick this up and it may help you, right? Because there's a few reasons it's easy for me. And actually it all comes down to one thing and one thing only. I just don't care. I just don't care what anyone thinks of me, of my story, of Herbalife, of what I do for a living, of whether I've done my hair or not, of whether I've got a clean t-shirt on. Because by the way, in those videos, right, I haven't done my hair. I got a t-shirt on that my 2-year-old dropped his breakfast down this morning, right? It's just true. I'm sat on my sofa drinking my thermo. I no real thought or plan went into what I was going to say or how I was going to say it. I just don't care, right? Now, the reason I don't care is because I understand stories and social media, right? Here's the reality of stories and social media. The huge majority of people that are connected with me on Instagram or Facebook or whatever will never see that story. Like almost everyone won't see it, right? So that's the first thing. So worrying about what one person would think about it, the chances are they're never going to see it anyway, right? 90% of people, 99% of people aren't going to see that story in this 24 hours, right? Those that do see it, of the small percentage of people that do see it, most will just click through it. What's Matt chatting again, right? My friends that aren't interested in Herbalife or hate Herbalife, they'll skip straight through it because I'm talking about Herbalife. The main people that will watch it, people are already involved in Herbalife anyway, right? Which is crazy, right? It's the same will be for you guys. So most won't listen to it all. And so therefore, I'm putting it out there because I believe, right? And this is where we all have to believe. You have to put it out there because if one person, right, watches that story, or sees the story, watches that story, and they're at a place in their life where now is the right time for them to have a look at something, either for their health or their wealth, right? I'm doing it on the off chance that one person, right? And I believe you've got to put out to receive, you've got to give to receive. You know, if you don't put the bait out there, you're never going to catch any fish, right? But the huge majority of fish are going to sail straight past it. And so when you don't care, then you have no problem just sticking the camera on and being yourself, right? And all of this comes down to something called ego, right? And ego is really misunderstood, right? It's something that once I began to understand what the ego really is, I really began to study it, and I just find it the most fascinating subject, right? Because I always thought ego was something like bravado, right? The way you looked, or being strong and powerful and being in control of people and situations. I thought that's what ego was, right? And what I learned was that ego was that little voice in your head that told you that you weren't good enough, or people were going to laugh at you, or people were going to judge you. It's the little voice in your head that constantly holds you back. It's the little voice in your head that says, oh, you can't do a video because you haven't done your hair. You can't do a video because you got your 2-year-old's breakfast down your t-shirt, right? You can't do a video because, you know, the biggest one is, what will my friends and family think of me? And the reality of my situation is, for the first 16 years where I could have taken advantage of this opportunity, I didn't, for one reason and one reason only. I was worried about what my friends would think about me doing Herbalife. 18, 19, 20, 25, 28, got to 30 years old, £50,000 in debt, fat and broke, right? Just like a lot of my friends, doing what all my friends were doing, stuck, frustrated, angry, miserable, right? Because I was worried what my friends would think about me choosing a different path, being an entrepreneur, choosing health, choosing wealth. And I had to hit rock bottom in my life to be able to let go of my ego, right? There's a quote that goes around all the time, which is much deeper than people give it credit for. And it's something along the lines of, I stopped caring about other people's opinions when I realized those people weren't going to pay my mortgage, my bills. And when that hits you to the core and you realize that you're not doing something like a poxy Instagram story because you're worried about what Mary at work might think about you doing something positive for yourself, in trying to help other people get better health and lose weight and feel and look great, so that you can make a little bit of extra income, so that your life can be a little bit better, your family's life can be a little bit freer, your kids' life could be a little bit more bright, and you're worried what Mary at work thinks about you doing an Insta story. When you really get your head around that, you go, screw Mary, I'm doing this for me. I don't want to live small anymore. I don't want to let my ego hold me back. Right? And you say no to that voice in your head. And you go, time for me to step up in my world. And it's only a poxy Instagram story that most people don't see. But what if you don't do it? What if you don't do it and that one person that is desperate right now for a bit of a lifeline, either in health and wealth, don't see it because you didn't do it, because you're worried about what Mary thinks about you chasing this thing called Herbalife? Do you know what it is? It's a lose, 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 lose situation. So screw Mary, right? Do your hair if you want to, change your t-shirt if you want, until you get to the point with me where you really don't care. Then of course, someone said, got to find the right filter. I don't know about that. This is how I look in real life, and this is how I look on my Insta stories as well. Actually, that's a lie, right? On all my Insta stories, I swipe twice. Right? I don't even know what the filter is when you swipe twice. It's the one that isn't blurry. It's the one that gives you a bit of a tan, right? I think it's called Los Angeles, right? That's the one I always use, right? But other than that, couldn't give a damn, because one, most people aren't watching. Secondly, those that are watching aren't really listening. Thirdly, those that are watching and listening and have anything negative to say about what I'm doing, the day they want to come and pay my bills and put my boy through private school and show him the world, okay, then great, I'll listen to them. Until then, it's on me. It's on me to stand up, to be brave, to learn the skills, and just do it over and over and over again until it's not scary anymore. And so it's not scary anymore. And if you really analysed listening to me in these videos, watching my Insta stories, and the stuff we do with Herbalife on stage and all the rest of it, you really analyse it. I say and a lot. Right? I have the same weaknesses that so many people have. I just don't care. I just don't care, because doing it is better than not doing it. When I do it, I take a positive step forward towards my goals and what do I want to achieve in life. And when I don't, at best, I'm stood still. At worst, I'm sliding backwards, right? So, sorry for the rant. It's just I care more about your total understanding of this thing than I do about the Insta story, right? We're seeing it a lot in these chats. People stepping up and being brave. Right? Don't listen to the voice in your head that's called your ego that's keeping you small.